The Atlantic Ocean, once a symbol of cooperation and shared prosperity between the United States and Europe, is now a tempestuous battleground in a brewing trade war. President Trump, wielding tariffs like a rusty broadsword, has set his sights on Europe, threatening to disrupt the delicate balance of global trade. The European Union, however, is no damsel in distress. Armed with its own arsenal of retaliatory measures, the EU is prepared to defend its economic interests. This is a high-stakes game of chicken, with the global economy hanging precariously in the balance. The stage for this economic showdown was set on April 2nd, 2025, a date ominously christened by President Trump as Liberation Day. This, however, was no celebration of freedom, but rather a declaration of economic warfare. On this day, Trump announced a fresh wave of tariffs targeting a range of European goods, sending shockwaves through the global market and drawing immediate condemnation from world leaders. President Trump, a self-proclaimed master of the art of the deal, seems to have missed the chapter on international diplomacy. His Liberation Day announcement has resurrected the specter of protectionism and trade wars. New tariffs target European products, from French wine and Italian cheese to German machinery. Trump's rationale is as predictable as it is flawed. He claims they protect American jobs and industries. He argues Europe has taken advantage of the U.S. for too long. This narrative ignores the complexities of international trade. Tariffs often cause more harm than good. They drive up prices, disrupt supply chains, and harm businesses. They rarely protect domestic industries. Instead, they lead to retaliation, triggering a downward spiral of protectionism. The European Union, no stranger to Trump's economic brinkmanship, has met his latest tariff threat with a mixture of defiance and resignation. Having already tasted the bitter fruits of previous retaliatory measures, the EU is all too aware of the economic pain that a full-blown trade war could inflict. However, the bloc is also acutely conscious of its own economic strength and its leverage over the United States. Brussels has made it abundantly clear that it will not hesitate to retaliate if Trump follows through with his tariff threats. The European Union is prepared to act decisively to defend its interests, warned European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen in response to Trump's announcement. We will not stand idly by while our industries and jobs are threatened. The EU's arsenal of retaliatory measures is formidable. It includes tariffs on a range of American goods, from iconic products like Harley-Davidson motorcycles and Kentucky bourbon to agricultural products like soybeans and orange juice. Moreover, the EU has other economic levers it can pull, such as imposing stricter regulations on American companies operating within its borders or delaying trade negotiations on key issues. This is not the first time the United States and the European Union have locked horns over trade. The two economic giants have a long and storied history of trade disputes, dating back to the early days of the European Economic Community. From the pasta wars of the 1980s to the more recent Boeing-Airbus subsidy dispute, disagreements over trade have been a recurring theme in transatlantic relations. In recent years, the Trump administration's penchant for protectionist policies has exacerbated these tensions. In 2018, Trump imposed tariffs on European steel and aluminum imports, citing national security concerns. The EU swiftly retaliated with tariffs on $2.8 billion worth of American goods, including motorcycles, bourbon, and orange juice. This tit-for-tat exchange of tariffs underscored the fragility of US-EU trade relations and the ease with which economic disputes can escalate. The current tariff standoff, however, represents a significant escalation in the trade war between the two economic superpowers. The stakes are higher, the rhetoric is more heated, and the potential consequences for the global economy are more dire. The trade relationship between the United States and the European Union is one of the largest and most important in the world. In 2024, the EU was the United States' largest trading partner, with total trade in goods and services exceeding $1.5 trillion. This economic exchange supports millions of jobs on both sides of the Atlantic and underpins the prosperity of both regions. The United States is a major exporter of goods such as aircraft, machinery, and agricultural products to the EU. In turn, Europe is a key supplier of automobiles, pharmaceuticals, and chemicals to the United States. This intricate web of trade creates jobs, lowers prices for consumers, and fosters economic growth. Trump's tariffs, however, threaten to unravel this vital economic relationship. By disrupting trade flows and driving up prices, they jeopardize jobs and economic growth on both sides of the Atlantic. Moreover, the tariffs poison the well of US-EU relations, making it more difficult to cooperate on other pressing global challenges, such as climate change, cybersecurity, and the rise of China. A chorus of condemnation global backlash mounts. The trade war between the United States and the European Union has not gone unnoticed by the rest of the world. From Beijing to Brasilia, governments and businesses are watching with a mixture of apprehension and dismay as the two economic giants engage in a self-defeating trade war. The international community has been united in its condemnation of Trump's tariffs, warning that they threaten to plunge the global economy into recession. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has repeatedly warned that tariffs are a drag on global growth and urged countries to resolve their trade differences through dialogue and cooperation. The World Trade Organization, the international body responsible for regulating global trade, has also been drawn into the fray. The EU has filed a complaint with the WTO, challenging the legality of Trump's tariffs. The United States, in turn, has blocked the appointment of new judges to the WTO's appellate body, effectively paralyzing the organization's dispute settlement system. Section 7. Canada, a reluctant warrior. Canada, the United States' northern neighbor and closest trading partner, has found itself caught in the crossfire of the US-EU trade war. While Canada has its own trade grievances with the United States, it has been reluctant to engage in a full-blown trade war with its southern neighbor. However, Trump's tariffs on steel and aluminum imports, which also targeted Canada, forced Ottawa's hand. In retaliation, Canada imposed tariffs on $16.6 billion worth of American goods, including steel, aluminum, and consumer products. Despite the retaliatory tariffs, Canada has maintained a more conciliatory tone than the EU, emphasizing the importance of preserving the close economic relationship between the two countries. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has spoken out against Trump's tariffs, calling them unacceptable and harmful to both the Canadian and American economies. However, Trudeau has also stressed the need for dialogue and cooperation, expressing hope that the two countries can resolve their trade differences amicably. Asia's united front, China, Japan, and South Korea, respond. On the other side of the globe, Asia's economic powerhouses, China, Japan, and South Korea, have also felt the sting of Trump's tariffs. China, the United States' largest trading partner, has been hit particularly hard by Trump's tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods. In retaliation, China has imposed tariffs on over $110 billion worth of American goods, including soybeans, pork, and automobiles. The trade war between the world's two largest economies has disrupted global supply chains, raised prices for consumers, and fueled uncertainty in the global economy. Japan and South Korea, both close U.S. allies, have also been targeted by Trump's tariffs. Japan has faced tariffs on steel and aluminum imports, while South Korea has been hit with tariffs on washing machines and solar panels. Both countries have responded with retaliatory tariffs of their own, targeting American goods such as agricultural products, automobiles, and machinery. The global economy braces for impact. The escalating trade war between the United States and its major trading partners has cast a long shadow over the global economy. The International Monetary Fund has warned that the tariffs could shave 0.5% off global growth by 2025. The organization has urged countries to step back from the brink and resolve their trade differences through dialogue and cooperation. The trade war is already having a tangible impact on businesses and consumers around the world. Prices for a wide range of goods, from washing machines and solar panels to soybeans and pork, have risen as tariffs take effect. Businesses are grappling with uncertainty as they try to navigate the shifting landscape of global trade. The longer the trade war drags on, the greater the risk of a global economic slowdown. The tariffs are already weighing on business investment and consumer confidence. If the trade war continues to escalate, it could trigger a recession, as businesses and consumers cut back on spending. The stakes are high, and the world is watching nervously as the trade war plays out.